What's up, Gemini? So this is Kendrick from Providence Tarot. I am going to be giving you your mid-month April proofread. And, I feel like you're very chill right now. And that's probably what you need to be, because we are kind of like in your 11th house of friendships and things like that, and like other people's children, and just like a lot of things that are happening external to you that you're kind of like trying to still be in flow with, connected with, but still be detached from, in some kind of way. And I don't know how that might make sense to any of you. It's general, so take it or leave it. Oh, the High Priestess, right? Or the High Priest, right? This is the Hierophant. I'm gonna start shuffling your cards for you. But the High Priest, everybody's getting like a base card. So this is really good because it's talking about your conditioning and your limitations. And these are limitations that you place on yourself, self-imposed limitations, or limitations that come from your upbringing or your conditioning, and how they affect you in a very impactful way. Monumental struggles that are kind of like lifelong, because it's coming from a place of who you are and what you've been taught. But these fives are also talking about what you overcome, okay? The challenges that you overcome with yourself. And the challenges that you have with yourself are based on your conditioning, which is your family, and it's your status that you are born into, all of that, right? So in order for you to kind of like break the chain, break the habits, break the karma, break the generational things, or connect the generational gaps, it just depends on who you are and where you come from. You're going to have to change ways that you've always thought things were, and that's going to come in from, relationships, jobs that you get, the way people see you, your appearance, how people may value you based on what you know, your level of spirituality, your level of intelligence, of, just kind of like all things, right? Easy things. And then also like your sense of self-value too. That comes from like, your conditioning, and people will treat you and respond to you based on how they might be taking in your sense of self-value. You know what I mean? How it's being reflected through your actions, right? And through your appearance, you know what I mean? And through your behavior, right? It's a sense of self-respect as well that we want you to have, okay? But it's also, you have to have a sense of respect for other people. If you respect yourself, then you respect other people. You know what I mean? And if you want respect, then you have to respect other people, right? Don't demand respect, but then not want to give it at the same time. And don't give respect and then not expect it back at the same time either. You see what I mean? Taurus rules the eye, ear, nose, and throat. Eye for an eye. Venus rules Taurus. Pisces rules the eyes. Venus is exalted in Pisces. Let's lay your cards out, shall we? But then we're also dealing with Leo. We're dealing with like family things, difficulties there, right? What creates the boundaries or the limitations between you and your family? That's why we go out into the world and we make friends, and we get, have experiences that take us outside of our, generalized sense of, self and life, so that we can kind of like see ourselves in a way that we never have before, or in ways that we weren't allowed to see ourselves. Does that make sense? Your first card, the Lord, which is actually the card that comes before the High Priest. So some of you are dealing with things with your father, right? And your parents are kind of like reflected through you. You are part of them. So how well they are doing in life is going to affect how you see yourself, right? And the Lord is somebody that's kind of like difficult to deal with, right? Stern, okay? The Lord and the High Priest. So some of you could be having like religious parents, or some of you could just be having parents that are like very set in their ways, and that is what is limiting for them. And you could be having difficulties with the ways that you see your parents struggling with themselves. Okay, because this is kind of like children and parents and family and shit, you know? I need to flip over some other cards, because like, even though the High Priest, the Hierophant is feminine energy, just because it's ruled by Venus, so that's connected to the divine feminine. But then we have like literally the divine masculine over here, kind of, I guess you would say. But in this card, it's the divine masculine because it's a man, right? But then we have two divine masculines here. We have two male energies that are kind of very dominant in your life in some kind of way. And this could be like, some of you could be seeing someone grow up, and that's what the boundary is, you know what I mean? Or you're determined to stay connected to something. You're determined to keep like some sort of like foundation or some kind of like fundamental, you know, connection, if that makes sense. Ugh. Okay, the Three of Pentacles, yeah, because this talks about growth, and this talks about change over time. Growth and change over time in the work that you do on yourself, Mars in Capricorn. So this is talking about the payoff of the work that you have done on yourself and for yourself and by yourself, okay? And how you get to like, you know, the top of the experience. We're not talking about reaching to the top, right? Like Rocky, but we have this kind of like training, right? It's almost like you are, I don't know, you have to live in the moment always, right? And it's like being in the moment, always being in the moment will lead you and guide you to where you need to go. You know what I mean? Because that's the only place you can be, is in the moment, right? If you're living in the past, then you're a prisoner of the past. If you're you know, living in the future, then you're kind of like not really set in reality, you know? And this Three of Pentacles, Mars and Capricorn, wants you to be real, right? It's not proving how real you are to other people. It's you just being real. You know what I mean? Not overthinking what that means, right? And not forcing something. You know, this is kind of like letting things happen, letting things be, letting things form naturally. Because the Three of Pentacles is connected to the Empress, and in this deck it's the Lady, which is a pregnant being, okay? So that's letting things happen naturally, right? Maintaining a sense of flexibility, because it's not going to be easy. And that's what Capricorn always is like. It's not going to be easy. Mars definitely is not easy. You know what I mean? It's impulsive, but it's not easy. You know what I mean? So it's saying if you thought this was going to be easy, then think again, okay? So now, I mean, especially with the High Priest coming up first, and then the Lord. But right, look, these cards are like complementary to each other, certainly. So someone could be demanding that you work a little bit harder, or someone could be putting the pressure on you. You know what I mean? Because to perform or to produce or to come up with something, the Lord is putting the pressure on Mars and Capricorn, Three of Pentacles here, right? To produce or to come up with something or to do something. You could be putting the pressure on yourself. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of beating oneself up over something that you can't necessarily, that you have no control over, but someone else is demanding a lot of you. Okay, so here we go. This is pretty good. What did I pick up? I think I picked up the Ten of Pentacles. I don't know, but you know, we're gonna look at both sides anyway. So the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is here, and this is talking about a full circle moment. You know what I mean? And so is this. Because this is Mars being in Pisces, okay? And this is Venus being in Aries. And Venus being in Aries is 12 houses, and Mars in Pisces is 12 houses from where it originates. So we're talking about feeling kind of like left behind, or maybe feeling like the last to know, or maybe we're playing catch up with something. We're playing catch up with ourselves, and we're also playing catch up with our emotions in some kind of way. So we're kind of like now realizing something over time. And we're now like establishing some strong foundations within ourselves. And we're also dealing with like the heart, the head, and the heart, and the that type of thing. It's like we felt like something, yeah, what you felt actually came into fruition, or what you thought actually happened, or what somebody could see was happening did happen, right? All along, like, because it happened, it has to do with time. All of them have to do with time, just because it's like the sign, the planet being in the 12th house, so it's gone all the way around there. So yeah, this could have even been in like the past few years, the past couple of years. There could have been a lot of things that were happening that were making this change obvious, and something that you felt too that was happening. But it had to be over a course of at least 3 years. What do we have on the other side? 10 of Cups, Mars, and how long did it take Mars to go around? So, okay, yeah, let's go with that. I would say 2 to 5 for some of you all, just depending on how heavy your situation was or how challenging your situation has been. You know what I mean? But it's definitely been some sort of a saga, sort of an odyssey, right? Just because that was at 11:11, by the way. Just because, like, and look, 11:11, you can't take that. Angel energy, Pisces, divine energy. So you've been divinely guided, and that's what that tells me when it's like a full circle like that. And when the planets have made a full 360 in the sky, you better believe that's being divinely guided. Okay, circular, right? Anyway, let's keep going on. Just like those planets. Right. So the Nine of Pentacles is talking about how this has created some natural boundaries for you just over time. You know what I mean? And we're analyzing things, and we are detailing things. And now when we go back and we look at the details and we analog, we're like, oh, so this led to this, led to this, led to this, and that's why I'm here. And I feel like this is actually where I was meant to end up. You know what I mean? So this talks about a karmic details in karmic detail, if you will. And this is a 9, so it's related to the Hermit, like a full circle experience, almost getting to the end of something, right? You're fully understanding something now. You're just starting, you are digesting the information, right? You are not getting overwhelmed by it. You're just processing it. You might think that you're overthinking it. You might think that, but you're just trying to like process it, because you're painting this picture for yourself on the other side of the moon, which rules all the 9s. Actually, the Hermit does, but the moon is the esoteric ruler of Virgo. Okay, so there's a deeper meaning here. You know, there's a sense of emotional illumination that is bringing further knowledge. You know, it's kind of like, when are we had a full moon in Virgo during Pisces season, right? The moon actually rules Pisces in the tarot. So we could be dealing with Pisces energy. We could be dealing with relationship energy, Venus energy, Venus and Pisces energy, Venus and Virgo energy, for sure. Venus and Virgo is debilitated. So it's saying like, wow, I had to experience some kind of, I had to experience some challenges along the way, or I had to experience a lot of different things along the path that have led me to this place. And now I realize why those things had to happen for me to know what I know to be here now. If that makes any sense, full circle, all of that. Epiphany, for sure, with the moon and with the 9 of Pentacles, right? But the moon is like something I always knew. And the 9 of Pentacles is something that like I have kind of put together, The clues have always been there. Anyway, Gemini, thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to get a personal reading with me, email providencetarotkendrick@gmail.com, okay? And follow me on Instagram. It's Providence Tarot, and my personal account is NYC Kendrick. Go over there and follow me. Yeah, good energy. You're changing.